MEC is almost done. We are going to discuss about the database first model today, and after that we'll see few practicals. Okay, so what is database first approach? So database first approach means you have already developed a database on your application. Okay, for your application, you designed your database schema, have already tables, stored procedures, and everything available. Okay, so after that, your entity framework. I told you already, entity framework will one end you develop, the rest it will take care, right? So this database you are already developed. So this database you have to consume in your MEC application, and then you don't want to write your entire models. Models means nothing but the class objects. Okay, so in this situation, what we can do is you just give your database connection string and select what are the tables and stored procedures you want to give it for, you want to use in your application. Okay, that will be taken care by your entity framework, and it will generate the model automatically for you. Okay, this is database first approach MVC app. So take empty application. If you want, you can keep MVC. So whatever the bare minimum required for MVC, that structure will be created for your application MVC, and click on OK. So this one got created. So I don't have anything, only root config is there. So I'm going to create first, I need to create my model. Model will come from my entity framework. How I can add entity framework is add new item, click on data templates, and you can see ADO.NET entity data model. So you can give a name, that is student. So this database you can use the same database what we created during our ASP.NET and WinForms application. Okay, that student database we have created, school database management. So the same database you can use it here. Okay, school DB, I will use school DB. School entities I will give. Now entity framework database, next. There is no connection, go to new connection and select your servers. So this is my local machine. So your local machine also, if you don't know your local machine, what you can do is just inside brackets you give local, and it will fetch all the databases in your machine. That is school DB. Okay. If you don't know your machine install SQL Server name, you can give like this. Okay, school DB. Now click OK. Next, so I have two versions of entity framework on my machine. So I'm going to use the latest one, 6. Now it will ask you what tables you want to add into your application. So what you can do is just expand this and see what are the tables. Hello. Okay. So select all the tables or whatever tables you require, and then stored procedures. There are many stored procedures. So you can select all, everything is selected. Now click finish. So this database, you can use the same database what we created during our initial classes. Okay, finish. Just 2 minutes, guys. Meanwhile, let it create. Now you can see on the screen the tables got created and their respective SPs should be created. Let me check. So once this got created, what you can do is you will get some model browser. Okay, this model browser will be there. This will list all the tables and stored procedures that got created on our entity framework model. So entity types, if you expand it, you can see all the tables, whatever got created on your application. And if you expand, you can see the same table structure, what are the columns inside it, and the table columns are here, id, name and description. So it's the key symbol represents it is a primary key column. Okay, like that we have all the tables we created are here. Okay, examination, student and everything. Okay, so now complex types. These complex types are the user defined functions or stored procedures that are created on a, that you added to your entity framework class will be listed here. So these are my stored procedures I have added here. Okay. So this is get branch details and it shows all the written columns from that the result set. Result set means the output of a stored procedure, what it contains, the columns it is showing. Okay, description, id and name. Same way classes and examination result, student leaves, students and then test marks. So all this complex types it is showing. Okay, function imports means what are, so what are branches, means function import means all the methods or stored procedures or functions we are using, we added from the database to entity framework, they are listed here. Okay, these are my stored procedures if you see on my database. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So these are stored procedures, they are on my database. So I added all to my entity framework. So these are function imports, and then same way this is store all the tables. This gives the schema what it has in my database again. Okay, so like this, I added all my tables or stored procedures required for my application. So, like unlike in our ASP.NET, ADO.NET, and WinForms, how we created all the classes and respective methods to interact with the stored procedures in earlier applications, we don't need to interact with that. So we can directly add the tables and even the stored procedures whatever we have on the database, we can use it here. Okay, so I added everything. Now what I can do is I'm going to my solution explorer, everything got added. Now what I'm going to do is, so model got created. Okay, this is my model. So I added school entities dot edmx entity data model. Okay, so school entities dot edmx. So that is all the models required for my application got created. If you expand these classes, you can see this one. So in my earlier class in code first approach, what I have done is I have done school db entities. So I will open that also. think MVC sample. Okay. So in MVC sample, school DB entities, what I have done? Student entities dot, that is derived from DB context. So the class newly created, this also school DB entities, the name I have given. On the name, the class got created, and then DB context. So this also deriving from DB context. So database context. So this DB context will have all the methods required to generate your model and to access and execute those models and their respective methods. So it will give the scope for the derived class. Okay, so that's why we added in code first approach also. And then public db set student model. So if you see public virtual db set branch. Okay, same way how we created here, the same way our entity framework which got generated automatically from entity framework class, it is also having same set of things. Okay, so this is object result means this one some stored procedures. These stored procedures you can't create dynamically from your code first approach. Okay, that is the limitation there, but here you can add the stored procedures also. Okay, so if we go to the student class, same way it is student and it is having all the id, name, class, branch, address and date of birth. Normal class, it is a very normal class, and it is referred here with db set, so that if you refer to a new database, all this tables and everything will be created automatically on your database. Okay, so this one got generated dynamically. You are not supposed to edit these this file. That's the limitation. So if you are expert, you can edit, but what happens is this file you can just refresh, or if you want to add a new thing you can add. So update model from here. So in your database, so database programming, normally juniors or programmers in the junior levels, they won't develop the database. Okay, so until and unless you are given all the tasks, you will work on. But normally junior level people, they won't work on database much. So all the tables, stored procedures, this will be created by database experts. Okay, so if they add a new table, what you will do is you will come here. Okay, so we have already added everything, so nothing it is showing. Okay, so normally if you, okay, I will remove one table and we'll see the examination. So you directly click on diagram, you remove it, it will ask. So it got removed. Okay, now update model. It shows now you can expand it. So it shows this table is not there. So you can select it, finish. So it got added. So this table got added here freshly. So like this, you can add stored procedures or tables, whatever you want, to the already existing model. So this entity framework is very easy. You need not to generate all the student class and everything. In my code first approach, I have developed my own model, but in turn it generated the tables required for my application in the database. But here already I have the tables, so their respective model is generated from entity framework. Okay, so their respective model got generated here like this. Now you can use this model in your application. Now what I am going to do is I am going to create a controller. So what you can do is MVC5 controller with views using entity framework. Okay, so you have three sets of controllers you can create. So the first one is MAC5 controller empty. So this is full, it will give full control to write whatever controllers and action methods, whatever you want, you can write using that. MAC5 controller with read write actions. So it will create only read write actions. Okay, but it won't implement those methods. But this MVC5 controller with views using entity framework, it will generate the required methods, the functionality and the views, everything will be generated for you. You need not to write a single line of code here. Okay, so I am trying with this. So model class, you can select student. See database first approach, MAC code models that got generated there, and then student DB entities. Okay, generate views, reference script libraries, use layout. Layout is not there, so it will automatically generate the views. Okay, generate the layout page. Okay, let it get generate. Now add it. Okay, let me rebuild my solution. So it has to get the references, that's why. So this controller name of guest students I am giving, that's fine. So all the models, their respective views got created. Go to view, you can see this got created already. So let's run the application, we will see what got generated. So there are no students, so go and create one. This one number. Let's say address, Bangalore, date of birth. Okay, so created. So it got created. Okay, so like this, it provided one for me and even update also. Edit, you change it to, so it got updated. Details, you can see the details. Back to list. And if you want to delete, you can delete also. So see, in this approach, only what I have created is, I have created only my database. Rest all things has been taken care by my entity framework as well as my MVC application. Okay, I did not write a single line of code here, but it gave me all the functionality. Okay, isn't it easy? Like this, you can generate all the views and other things for any entity framework object you have. Okay, all the tables and even stored procedures also you can execute from there. So the stored procedure results also you can show it here. Okay, stored procedures also how you can call is, I just tell you how to call from the entity framework. So if you see, this school DB entities got created globally. So if you want, what you can do is where result equal to db dot get students, what you have to pass. So those are optional parameters. If you pass, okay, otherwise it will take automatically, it will consider all the list. So null name blank, class name branch name. Okay, so like this I have created. So the result will be again a students list. So that list I can pass to my view or whatever purpose I can use. So you can just call like a method of this class all the stored procedures. That's the beauty of entity framework. Okay, and if you want to update stored procedures, what you have to do is just go to your model browser. If you don't find your model browser, come here and or else open this one and open your UDMX file. You will get some design like this and right click on the file, see the model browser. Click on model browser, it will open for you. So here come to function imports and select the stored procedure, right click on it. If you want to delete from the model, you can delete. Otherwise, if you want to edit it. Okay, it says function import name, what name you want to use. If you want, you can change. Stored procedure or function name is this. And complex type, complex type means, so what is the database, what method you want to use. Okay, so the generated, the output of the stored procedure, what format you want to keep in your application. So this is a class generated automatically by your entity framework. If you want to use that, you can use this. By default, it will give you this. Otherwise, you have any model already defined in your application. What you can do is you can map to those those classes. Okay, the output you can map to those classes, whatever classes you have. Okay, so this is, so basically people will go with this complex type only, these entities. So if you want, so these guys are attaching some get branches, the stored procedure name underscore result, right? So if you want to map the result to a particular entity, your own entity on your application, what you can do is you select entities and you map to this. Your result will be converted to, try to convert to this class. So your result class should have, okay, this class should have all the columns those are returning from this stored procedure. If not, it will throw you an error. Okay, so better to use complex type. So update, it gives what are the columns we are going to get: description, ID, name. Okay, so the result set will contain these columns: name, ID, and description. Okay, click on OK so that it will be updated automatically. If you are still not able to get the changes from the database, the best way is to remove this get branches wherever you find. In complex type also, you are getting get branches underscore details and get branches here function imports, and here also installed procedures or functions get branches is there. These three places you just right click on it and delete from model. Okay, so delete from model. So three places you remove, so that again you add from this one update model. Okay, so these two approaches you can follow to update your stored procedures. Same for your tables also. Okay, so if you added a new column, what you can do is update database model, go to refresh, select the table which you want to update, table or stored procedure, whatever, just select that and then finish. It will update not only this table, entire your database model will be updated automatically. Okay, this is one thing we created now. So Now we have another approach. Okay, so this with database, if you want, you can use entity framework. Otherwise, what you can do is you can go with the traditional ADO.NET model approach. But people nowadays they are using entity framework the most because you have your database first approach people will use because the stored procedures you can use in code first approach. It gives you handle to only the tables. Okay, so if you give to tables you can't generate any stored procedures on it. Okay, so in entity framework code first approach, so there you can't create any stored procedures. The problem is your application is growing and it is having many much data on your application. The entity framework code first approach can't handle that much database. Okay, that's a problem. So the indexing and other things can't be handled in entity framework. But whereas in database first approach, your DB admins or DB programmers, database programmers, they can write the right uh, code, the right stored procedures or even scripts to improve your database performance, so that you will have the full control on your database. Whereas in code first approach you will not have that much control. So that's why people are going with database first approach and using entity framework to generate model on their applications. Using that model they are able to build their applications in very fast mode. Okay, as you see now, the database is ready for me, and to create all the screens, it may not take more than 10 to 15 minutes. Just like MVC, the predefined template. So MVC controller with add, edit, update, delete methods, the methods as well as views. If I use that, it will generate everything for me, and just to edit these things to my need. Okay, that is only I have to do. That's a very basic thing of entity framework as well as MVC controllers. Okay, now same way in ASP.NET we have Ajax. Okay, we have Ajax here. So the Ajax helpers created by MVC is not that much useful, but you can have a look at it. Okay, I am going to create one more controller. This one with read write actions. I'm just taking read write actions, just a sample template. It will create all the methods for me. So student Ajax actions. Okay, so it created. So in index, what I'm going to do is, okay, same way how the other controller generated, I'm trying to generate the same. So here db dot students dot to list. Okay, all these are link queue things. Link queue makes the developers life very easy. Okay, so to list, go to view is not there. So what I'm going to do is add view, this view should be of type index and to list this model. I'm going to take student db entities. Okay, that's fine. Let it get create, no problem. Then, okay, it generated earlier like earlier. Here I have create. I'm going to add view. This is create and the empty model. So otherwise I can use a create template and then student I am selecting, not partial view. I added same like earlier I have added. Okay, so here it is begin form. Okay, begin form means a form will be added, html form will be added to your page. So what I am going to do is I will remove this. This is there, Ajax form, action link. So we have Ajax start begin form. So at the rate Ajax start begin form. So the begin form you have to give which action your string action name. So the action name is we have create and new Ajax options. Inside this what you can do is the output of the method you can hold it here. Okay, so insertion mode equal to insertion dot insert after before replace or replace with. So we will just replace. Okay, I will explain you each one individually. Update target id equal to, let me add a simple div tag. This one will have id div result. So the same id I am going to use in the top. Okay, so I have to keep it in double quotes. So this is my Ajax form and then create is here. So this redirect I will remove and I will return the same view with message created successful. Okay, so what I am doing here is remaining all is same as it is, the model how it generated. So whatever validation summary and editor for means it will generate the control on my web page and then validate error message. So whatever the data annotations if you give for your model, that will be validated. So required field are regular expression, email address, whatever. So that is there, and then so it created all the controls just like your page. Here, instead of begin form, I used Ajax.begin form. So we have unobtrusive.js. I explained in the first class. Even though if you don't have jQuery, it will provide you the capabilities of jQuery. So here, the Ajax.begin form basically it requires to perform the Ajax operations. Ajax means asynchronous JavaScript and XML. To perform these operations, you need JavaScript or jQuery reference. Even though if you not refer the jQuery to your application, this unobtrusive.js file will take care all those things. But for this Ajax.begin form, the support for this functionality, Microsoft is they are reducing because people are in this MVC people are using mostly jQuery or Angular JS. Anyway, we are going to discuss about jQuery in coming classes. Okay, so this jQuery will perform almost the same capabilities as this Ajax.begin form. So people are nowhere using this Ajax.begin form. So in the very beginning, people may use this, but people are most they are moving towards jQuery and plain HTML and CSS. That way they can improve even the MVC applications performance the best. Okay, so this Ajax.begin form, what it will do is it will create a form for you, and the operations whatever happens inside this. So this begin form starts here, this open brace, and ends here. In between these curly brackets, whatever is there, the controls and operations, whatever happens. So the request will be asynchronously posted to the application. Okay, means without refreshing the page. If you see the other pages, after save, your application will be refreshed and it is redirecting to a new view. Here, what happens is without refreshing your page, the data will be added and you will be given a link to go back to your list, and you will get the response there itself without redirecting your page. Okay, so we will see what happens now. We'll run this, and here insertion mode is replace means I have this div id div result. So what I am telling is whatever result I am getting out of this action is created here. Okay, so whatever result I am getting here, what it has to do is it has to display the result on my div tag. So where I have to display, that is update target ID and then insertion mode. You want to insert, you want to replace that ID and replace the result. You want to replace that element with the result. That's what it is asking. Or if you want to insert before or after the div tag, okay, or replace with something like that. It is asking. So what I will do is test user 1, class is 3, branch is 3, address Bangalore, 9, 1999. Okay. So some problem is that one. Let me check that. So here also it is return view. Instead of action result, what I am going to do is I will do the string. Okay, it's better for me to handle the result. Student record created successfully, and here you, you cannot create student now. Please try after some time. Okay, and even I can change this to student and this view anyway student only. So now let me see this. So you can see this student got created successfully. So it got redirected by. So this is a submit button, that's why it is redirecting. Due result. Okay. If you see this one, so this class got created automatically, just like in our initial classes we saw, right? Same way it got. So it is still there in create page only. It didn't redirect to any other place. And it replaced the div result, but it entirely replaced. So it supposedly do it here. Div result and X options. HTTP method post. So if you want to handle during these operations some callbacks means the methods, JavaScript methods you can use on begin. So when this Ajax post happens on begin, if you want to do, what you can do is alert started, and then on failure, on success, you have a few things. On complete, you can do alert completed. This is started. On success, if you want to show some message, you can show. Sorry. So it is directly posting redirection is happening. So normally it shouldn't happen, the redirection. So it is there in the same page only. It is not redirecting. Okay, it is somehow replacing entire page, but the actions will happen asynchronously. Okay, that's the advantage of this begin form Ajax you can use, and there are many options inside this. So insert before the target ID where you want to replace the result. Okay, where you want to place the result, and then the method HTTP method, what method you want to send the data on begin, on complete, and on success. These are the actual JavaScript methods, JavaScript functions you can execute during the operations. Okay, and then you can create your model inside this according to your needs. So for this, you should be very firm with HTML, jQuery, and JavaScript. Okay, so with this, we have completed our MVC. From tomorrow, we will start with Web API. Okay, so during one sample application, whatever I missed, okay, the routing one and this Ajax is one. So this Ajax anyway we are not going to use, but I will give you one sample. Okay, somewhere in next week. Okay, we will use with this sample also one example, and then routing and then authorization and authentication with a simple validations, the attributes we will see. Okay, so the web API is nothing different from your normal MVC controller. The same things, everything will be there. Instead of action result, there it will be HTTP result. Okay, HTTP response result. IHTTP result will be there, and the other things, everything is same. And even you are calling from your application JavaScript or jQuery, it will be same. So it won't take much time from web API. Everything is same. Okay, so that will take only one class. Whatever we are writing here in this student controllers, okay, MVC controllers, the same things we write in web API also. Okay, so nothing need to bother about that. That will take only one class, and then we will go with this student DB sample application with jQuery. Okay, any doubts? So those three things which I missed from last two classes, routing and authorization, these things I will cover in the sample application, whichever I missed. Okay, any doubts? Or you guys are good? Okay, thank you guys. See you tomorrow. Good night.